All right. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Niko. Appreciate it. Firstly and foremost, have you been since we stopped playing?
Oh, look, it's just been work. I'm working from home last 7 weeks. Been
Yeah.
a bit different, especially working in a contact centre with over 2,000 people. Now I'm just home with the dog and the missus every second day. So she loves it that I'm home. Can't go anywhere.
The dog or the missus?
Oh, the dog loves it. He's adores it, but the missus as well. She gets to see me a little bit now.
That's all right. Hopefully you're keeping well. Look, it's been an interesting time for all of us as we are all currently in it. So we'll kick things off, make it a little bit more interesting and a bit fun for everyone. Let's get the questions ready and underway. There's quite a few of them tonight, so thank you to everyone that did send them through. The first one will go off. How did you start in futsal?
Well, I actually started Bruce Roslin, who we all know the Coo Boys. He was playing at Brunswick at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play social league with Ruse, and I used to go watch him play at Brunswick and just check it out. And their manager at that time gave the team in. Ruse took it over with a couple of other lads, and they said, "Do you want to sit here and coach?" I go, "I wouldn't have a clue how to coach futsal." He goes, "Just subs. As soon as someone puts his hand up, just whoever's on the freshest on the bench, just chuck him on." And that's how it all started.
Mm. And did you ever play? Like you mentioned that you coach. Did you ever play futsal at all, or is it just they subbed you that one particular time?
Look, we've all played futsal, but what level?
Mm.
I've had a kick around the good old, like indoor soccer, a bit of futsal here and there, but never took it seriously. It was just a game I used to play with a bunch of mates, have a kick around on say a Tuesday or a Wednesday night somewhere
Mm.
in the suburbs, but never thought I'd take it this serious.
And then, did you ever play outdoor at all, or did you coach outdoor in that time?
Yeah, look, I played outdoor a long, long time ago, probably before most of the boys were born. I'm a bit of an old fart. I started off, played at Bentley Greens through the junior ranks there, moved across to Heidelberg, did a knee Rico.
Oh,
Came back, tried to do another, tried to get going again with Heidelberg again. Then moved over to Bentley Greens, transfer, did a knee Rico. So 2 knee Ricos in the space of probably about 15 months. Then I decided, no, I'm going to take a break, go overseas, and ended up living in Greece for about 8 years, working on the islands.
and how was that?
Oh, look, it was a tough job, but someone had to do it, poor bugger.
Enjoyed your time when you were there?
Oh, yeah, look, it was very difficult working in 28 degrees, 30 degrees, 35, on a beach bar. Like, what more do you want?
And during it, and when you came back, is that when you started to really get involved in futsal and football?
Oh, probably about 5 years later. Like, I'd given up on outdoor, especially. Just like, used to go watch games and all that, but I was in no condition to play. I was probably as bad as what I am now. But
Mm.
then I started working at AGL probably in about 2006. That's where I met Ruse Roslin, and that's how we started playing. First of all, social league. A few boys from the company started playing in the local leagues all around.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruse he'll probably kill me. He still is a very good player, but he was very, very good back then, and he wanted to go upper level and upper level. So that's how I sort of started getting involved.
And before a game, how do you prepare? Do you go over any highlights? You watch any videos, or do you just when you get there you're ready to go? You there, mate? Looks like we've just got a bit of delay there, Niko. Hopefully you can hear us. Sorry there, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't catch that. So before a game, do you have any plan? Do you do any do you watch any videos? Do you have any game plans set up for you, or do you just turn up and then get into it?
Oh no, definitely. We'll work throughout the whole week. Like, I'll watch a couple of games. You know who you're playing against. pending like at Hume, even at Altona now with
Hmm.
Davey Sarich. I like to sit down with Davey. I get him to sort of give him tips because he's a new, fresh coach.
Hmm.
I came to the team as his assistant, like to sit down, watch the opponents.
Hmm.
And even if you can pick up a couple of little things that may get you over the edge,
Yeah.
we're not gonna sit there and analyze like professionals. But
Hmm.
if we can pick up one or two things that we can stop the opposition from doing, and that gives us more of a chance of winning,
Yeah.
and that's yeah.
And have you found being, you were obviously a head coach at Hume and then you went and now as an assistant, have you found that transition? Was it easy for you? Did you find it a little bit difficult at the start and now you're in your groove, or how was it?
No, not at all. Look, the Sarich boys and the whole Sarich family, including mum and dad, we go back a long, long way. Probably go back about 8 years. I wasn't going to coach. I was going to take a break after a big tough season with Hume.
Mm,
And speaking of the front, he said, "Look, Davey's by himself. He hasn't got the experience.
mm,
Would you be interested in coming to sort of assist him, guide him? He'll be the head coach.
mhm.
He needs experience." He goes, and plus, he gives me the opportunity to focus on my game.
Yeah.
So basically, no issue whatsoever. I knew my role from day one when I walked in there that I was going to be sitting on the sidelines,
Mhm.
giving Davey advice, giving him because Davey reminds me basically where I was when I first started.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any idea apart from watching it here and there again. So it was good to sort of bounce ideas,
Mhm.
and he's really taken it on board, and he's really improved leaps and bounds.
Yeah. And what have you learnt from your time being at Altona?
Look, alternative. It was very, very similar to when I took over Hume, like going back 10 seasons ago. They just avoided relegation. They were in the playoffs. A bunch of boys that were a tight knit group. Okay, a lot of young boys in the team, Altona as well, inexperienced boys. So basically, it's very, very similar. Both teams are very, very similar in the group of style players that they had, and in regards to experience, etc. So and look, you learn every day. You learn a
Yeah.
lot of things every day, like things that, and I tell Davey, I go, look, you're going to make mistakes, but as long as you learn from those mistakes and you know not to do it again, or sort of learn that doesn't work, do something else and try other things. Yeah, so but you learn, like even I learned sitting there watching games and so on. I go, geez, only if I should have done that when I was coaching, say at Hume or back at Baldwin days. Yeah.
Yeah. And have you noticed a difference from when you first came in to up until the point we were playing, how much the team has changed?
Oh, look, I definitely have noticed a difference. I sat down with Davey and we've had a lot of chat. What are we doing? What are we doing wrong? And I said, my personal opinion, I told him what I thought. We're too much of an outdoor style team.
Yeah.
You need runners in this sport. You need guys that are going to, when you've got the ball, you're all attackers. When that
Mhm.
opposition has got the ball, you're all defenders. You've got to make sure that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And there's no friends. You're going to hurt some people's feelings. You might drag someone off. You might hurt his feelings. He may not make the squad, but you've got to make that call.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've noticed that, like, I think everyone's noticed, like, the last 5 games or 6 games of the season last season, we started coming into playing a bit of a futsal style. Still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And trying to implement that with the boys, we were going to make a lot of mistakes and concede a lot of goals.
Yeah.
But you've got to make mistakes to learn, to
Yeah.
better yourself.
Yeah, absolutely right. And you're definitely right there. We did notice that the massive change from when you first came in to towards the end of the season, you guys look like a much better team. And when you got it going, you could actually see the changes and you could see how, you guys can really just on any given day, you can smack any team. And that proved it, especially in that game against Pascavel. I'm not sure if you remember last year, the last game of the
Yeah.
season, you would have said 99% of the people would have said you guys would have copped a belting, but you guys came out and played a fantastic game. And then going away from that, that really set you up for the following season. It's just unfortunate we've run into COVID-19. But yeah, you guys really changed dramatically over that period of time, and it was an exciting team. And having someone like Frano, who's just phenomenal. What pointers can you possibly give him? Do you think, as being an experienced coach, or do you just go, you know what, do your job and we trust you.
Oh, look, no, I like to keep him on his toes, and he knows that.
Mm.
Basically, he makes even his small mistakes. That's where Freno is a really great keeper because he wants to know what he does wrong.
Yeah.
And you pick him up on it. He knows he's doing something wrong. You'll pull him to the side during half time, have a chat. Hey, look, Freno, I think you're actually not throwing the ball properly. You're actually not releasing the ball properly.
Yeah.
Stay back off the line a little bit. And he picks those things up, and he sort of, the good players will take that sort of advice, constructive criticism, and use it to their advantage. That's how you know your difference between a top player or a fantastic player and someone who isn't that fantastic. It's attitude.
And do you have any superstitions before any games?
Superstitions? No, not really. I just like to be on my own, basically, before the game. Have a nice kebab across the road there and just have a bit of a think there. Yeah, but no, not really.
And
one of them, I don't like to walk out with the team, if you want to say that.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
When the two teams walk out, I always want to be at the bench, yeah.
And who's, out of all of your teams that you have coached, who's been your favorite team to coach? Is it a favorite group of players that you've had, or a specific team?
Look, Hume, I was there for a very long time. I was there for 10 seasons. So they were a great bunch of boys, especially when we're at the time when we won 2 Foz Cups in a row, missed out our own fault on winning the title. That's one of the seasons there. I love these boys at Altona. They're amazing. As I said, they're just a great bunch of blokes. I fitted right in. Like, I didn't know them. I knew a few of them, probably 2 or 3, but they've took me in straight away. I feel like I've been mates with these guys for years and years. And even the Baldwin boys, when we won the Club's Cup, that bunch of boys there, again, the Sarich brothers with a few others were fantastic. So it's very, very hard to sort of say which one was my favourite.
And what's been your favorite SFA trip?
SFA trip. I reckon that came from Mo Matter, I bet.
Nah.
No. Oh, Jason Barrientos, yes. Good old Jason. The Perth trip, in regards to trip-wise, Perth was fantastic.
Yeah.
Had a great roommate there in good old Jason Barrientos and Vadim Mazuski. But in regards to tournament, I loved the Melbourne one where we came runners-up, basically underdogs. Had a great squad there, and we came runners-up, very close to winning it.
What was the Perth trip special for you?
Why?
Because this was one of the really questions that came through. That's why I'm asking.
Why was the Perth trip special? Is this something to do by being woken up middle of the night?
No idea. I just asked that. I had to ask you about your favorite SFA trip, and in brackets it said something about Perth. So I have no idea what that question is about.
Right. I think I know who's behind this. Definitely 100%. Yes. Perth was fantastic because it's the first time we've been away with the boys for a very long time. And there was myself, and everyone would know Vadim Mazuski, who's a superstar futsal player. Decided at 4:00 in the morning, wanted to watch a Russian comedy. And I had the iPad. It was my iPad. And at 4:00 in the morning, he woke me up and he said, "What's the password?" I go, "To what?" He goes, "To your iPad." And yeah, he got a few expletives I can't disclose on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a joke that's been going around for years. Yeah.
What's the best place to eat after winning a trophy? That's another question that came through.
Oh, look, Timmy's is great, but his parents' restaurant right next door, hands down, nothing can beat that restaurant. Best restaurant I've ever been to, and I'll ever go to. Just amazing. Yeah.
Who's the best player you've ever coached?
Oh, look, you can go. There's no doubt Frano Sarich is definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, big respect to Nedjit Sahin, like amazing player. support as well. And one player I also really liked, I loved coaching, was Mohammed Temel.
Yeah.
Seeing him grow up from a 15-year-old to tell you a little funny story. First game, we're up 3-1. I thought, let's give him a run. 15-year-old kid, 2 minutes to go. I put him on. I go, Timmy, come on, you're on. He goes, all right, all right. The team scores within about 30 seconds, the opposition.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Timmy run to the bench so fast. Get me off, get me off, get me off.
It's probably the
Yeah,
only
but
time
yeah, those,
the only time you see
yeah.
Timmy
So,
run off to the bench.
oh yeah, no, but it was a pleasure to coach because he would listen. He would like understanding. He knows everything that you would say to Timmy. He was basically he would take it on board and improve himself. And look, he's become an absolute beast.
Yeah.
But one player I actually loved coaching, maybe not my best player, but I loved coaching. I don't know why he'd bring the best out of me was my mate Mo Matter.
I was about to ask you the next question. Who's been your favorite player they coach? But yeah, Mo. Why Mo? Why has he been your, one of your favorite players?
Oh, look, he reminds me of when I was younger, when I was playing outdoor. Like you had the smart aleck in the team, the joker around, but once he got on the court, you'd give your whole, you give everything. He gave everything. Like you can see, he plays with heart. He was the joker. He was the life of humour at the time.
How many times was he also one of the most annoying players you had?
Oh, look, there's no one came close to Mo Matter. Like sometimes I think Michael Lentini's a little bit annoying and frustrating, but Mo Matter, I don't know, it's these left footers. Lentini and Matter, both of them are very frustrating, but I'll tell you what, Mo Matter hands down, gold medal.
Why is Latini up there?
Oh, look, he's very frustrating. He's a bit of a whinger, a bit of a sook. We do call him a dog bastard, yeah.
Yeah. Who's a player that did play under you but then left that you wished you kept a little bit longer?
Oh, well, no one. Well, at my time at Hume, I'm trying to think which player. I would have liked to have kept on to Frano Saric for a little bit longer, but unfortunately, with circumstances taking over Altona.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's a couple. I mean, Roberta Chisek is one.
Yep.
I wish he did stay a bit longer because we were building something very special there at that time. The other one I would say probably Jason Barrientos when he came over the first time. I wish he did stay a little bit longer. Yeah.
And why in particular those two? Do you felt that they just was it they just left at the wrong time for you guys, or was it the right time for them to move on? Do you think?
I think Betty, for personal reasons, for his personal reasons, and I understand he left for his reasons, and I completely understand that. But for the club at that time, he left at the wrong time for me.
Yeah.
Like as I said, the club was in process of getting places, and to lose someone his caliber at that time was disappointing. Jason, I understand why he left, but we needed that again for the club reason. It's disappointing when you do lose players of that caliber at any time. Doesn't matter what stage the club's at. When you lose players of that caliber at any time, it's a little bit disappointing. Yeah.
Fair enough. Who's the best left footer you've ever coached? And this is a question that did come through.
Yes, best left footer. It's a funny thing that you say about left footers because a lot of times at Q might start with 4 left footers on the court. There was Mo Matter, Temel, Sahin, and Chitek. But everyone would say, why are you starting with 4 left footers? But there was times you'd start with 4 right footers and no one would say boo.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely in regards to power, I would say Nijat Sahin.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to power and placement, I would go Mohammed Temel.
And How did it feel leaving Hume after 10 years? I'm sure it would have been, a hard decision, an emotional decision, but how did you feel when you were making that decision?
Look, it was a mutual decision. I was thinking of, yes, I was going to go down with the club, coaching state league. The boys had other plans. I thought, okay, 10 years, 10 seasons, sorry,
Mhm.
about 4 years there, sort of came to an end. I understand the boys, and I always told them from day one, if I'm not good enough to coach or they want to go another way, I'd rather them tell me and sit down as gentlemen, we shake hands and we move on.
Yeah.
And it was tough, and that's why I probably didn't want to coach or get involved again. If any other club approached me, I probably would have gone. I probably would have said I want to take half a season or a whole season off
Yeah.
just to get recharge my batteries because
Yeah.
it was very tough. And I mean, they still got a special place in my heart. I still love that club, and I'll never forget that club.
Yeah. Was there any other teams that were interested when you did leave Hume?
I got approached by a couple. Uh, well, it was basically just some really preliminary talks, like what are you doing, what are you going to do, etc.
Yeah.
And I basically said I want to take a break.
Yeah.
Whereas, as I explained earlier in the conversation with the Saracens and Altona, it's a little bit different. I mean, we are
Yeah.
very, very good friends, and yeah, and I really want to help Davey out and see him progress further. So it's like I'm in semi-retirement, if you want to put it this way. I'm just sort of waiting to get the pension.
Yeah, you're going to wait a long time, Niko. That's for sure. Look, I just want to thank you so much for your time tonight, Niko. Appreciate it. You've been fantastic to me ever since I've come on board. You always got a smile on your face. You're such a character on the sidelines. I love watching you. Your theatrics are fantastic, and it shows in your passion. You love the game so much, and that's the reason why you're so well liked, and everyone loves you. And I can't thank you enough for your support as well. So, look. Thank you so much for tonight, Niko. Stay safe. Hopefully, we see you soon. Good news coming around. The
Yeah.
government's easing the restrictions, so it looks like we should know in the next month or so whether we can come back and we get to see you again.
Well, look, Alex, I want to first of all thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much for keeping us all entertained over this sort of break. You're doing an amazing job. I can
Thank
see
you.
the passion that you've got as well. You're keeping us entertained there. I mean, I'm sick and tired of watching the AFL replays of 1989 and Gary Atlas and all that.
Yeah,
So, and I think this is a break the boys actually needed as well. It's come
yeah.
at a time where because playing futsal in and out, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because we want to get it out there now. So, look, it won't take up more of your time. Thank you very much, and I'll see you around soon.
No worries. Thanks, Niko. Enjoy your night and stay safe, mate. Thank you.